What's going on, YouTube? It is the main man, international man of mystery, the man in black, non-belligerent, but with a professional attack on those people who are against our rights, liberties, and freedoms. All right, all right, all right, all right. Hey, I want to thank each and every one of you guys. We are almost at 80,000, and probably within the next year, we should be reaching 100,000. And then I'll get one of those little fancy plaques. I will feel ever so accomplished. And after that, it's a long way until anything of substantial numbers. So, but that milestone just goes to prove that we're doing something right here, despite people wanting to place ads underneath my videos talking about, well, the sovereign citizen movement. All right. And those various enforcers of state law, statutes, and codes, and municipalities, and certain people in the GOV who don't like this information being put out there. Why? So you guys can have absolute control. Well, there's a number of us who know, about, I don't know, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights, which is absolute law, and there's nothing higher than this. Google it, ask it right now. What is the highest law in the United States of America? Matter of fact, let's just do it right here. What is the highest law in the United States of America? Okay, it says the United States Constitution is the highest law in the United States. It's considered the supreme law of the land. That's probably why they abridged it by making maritime admiralty jurisdictional laws and things. And you can actually Google that too. Is the United States corporation operating and courts operating under the maritime or admiralty jurisdiction? So we're dealing with two different systems here, two different law points. The judicial power shall extend to all cases in law and equity arising under this Constitution, the laws of the United States, and the treaties made or which shall be made under the authority to all cases affecting ambassadors, other public ministers, and consuls to all cases of admiralty and maritime jurisdiction. Oh, let's keep going. To controversies to which the United States shall be party. The controversies between two or more parties, states, between a state and a citizen of another state, between citizens of different states, between citizens of the same state, claiming land under grants of different states, and between a state or a citizen or citizens thereof and foreign states, citizens or subjects. And this is under Article 3, S2, C1, 112.1, Authority or Overview of Admiralty and Maritime Jurisdiction. There it is. All right. So once again, before we get going, this is going to be about questions that people keep asking me in the emails. I am ever so thankful that you guys are now watching more videos and just sending out questions to me. And if you haven't watched any of my videos in a long time, just remember that I don't answer emails as much as I used to. It's just too much time, too much stress for free answering all those emails. So you can ask 1 to 3 questions if you pay for the service. If you ask questions on my website, that is the AI. Some people are like, oh, you didn't give me a direct answer, or I didn't. Well, that is the AI. It goes through my information and gives you an answer that it thinks I would give you, because welcome to the age of Skynet. Um, so yeah, you can ask it all the questions you want, but you can, or you can talk to me and pay for it. That's where it is. For those people who have bought products, and have immediate questions, yes, I do answer one or two. And to those people who are in the VIP, they will get priority. Other people, I may or may not answer it. Don't take it personal. To those people out there who have supported me and have reported other people's videos where they're calling me the S word or defamation of character, which is a suitable offense, thank you for that. Please continue to keep doing that. To all the trolls out there, I appreciate you as well for some of the things you guys have your criticisms. However, I will not respond back to anything that's belligerent or whatever else. Do your research about what you want to, throw my way before trying to throw I feel some type of way. Prove it in constitutional law versus your state law. State law is dealing with U.S. citizens. Federal constitutional law is dealing with nationals or a combination thereof. So we're dealing with tomatoes and potatoes, different things going on here. And constitutional law, which is supported by the federal law, is the highest law in the United States, period. So with that being said, long live the American nation. God bless America. All right, so questions that people have been asking me that, and I try to answer a lot of these questions on the bottom of my email. So when you email me, those 1 through 10, 12, or 13 are just what normal people have been asking me to the point where I'm tired of it. So here's those general answers to those things. Question number 1, do we have to lower our topography on the passport application? No, you don't have to. You can use upper, lower, upper, and lower. The reason why I choose lower is because it does represent in Black Law's dictionary to be capitis minimus, which means no loss of standing or rights. This is how it is depicted on the state level. The federal government, per GPO Styles Manual, does not take into account. They are not party to the U.C.C. like the state ofs. So they do not use capitis dimitio maxima or minimus, nor medius. They just do it because they like it. They are subservient to the Constitution. And to those agents out there of the government who do watch my videos and do, we'll just say, support the Constitution and what I'm doing here, thank you guys. I know that you guys are there. I know that you guys are rooting on for this information, people like me, and helping to keep people like me and others safe and protect our rights. So thank you to those guys and the law enforcement out there who are doing their job properly, who have exceeded the mandate of just learning corporate legal enforcement officer information within that 9 months of your study, because you didn't have to. And to those guys who've been on the force a very long time and have learned it firsthand. All right. So thank you to that. So to answer your question, no, you do not have to put everything in lower. However, I do that because if ever challenged, I will be able to say I've been avoiding and not using any public things, benefits as much as possible, minimizing my points of contact, as they call it. All right. Some people have asked me, well, what actually at the end of the day do I have as proof, Wolf, that I am a national? Well, 1, you can say who you are all the time. 2, an affidavit where you're claiming that. 3, a declaration. 4, an affidavit of repudiation. I swear out as being a U.S. citizen while maintaining myself as a national of the United States of America under the Constitution. And for me, Lord of Levitica, domestic but yet private, and foreign to the United States in relation. However, if you want something tangible written from the government, GPO Styles Manual, section 5.23, nails it down right there. Utilizing 8 U.S.C. 1401A. Now there's A, B, C, D, and whatever else, and I highly recommend going to Cornell Law EDU. Why? Because they have the hyperlinks that tell you what the hyperlinked word means in that phrase. You can look at the word state or national and think it means, oh, the same thing no matter where it's used, and that is not the correct assumption. Cornell Law, for the most part, though they're a little lacking, and I know you guys watch my videos too, not all of the words there are properly defined. And then you also have to learn things like when dealing with court state paperwork, you have to understand that it's already assumed that they're utilizing Black Law's dictionary, which is not the American dictionary, rather Webster's is, and that they're also operating under the UCC book, which means they don't have to tell you this word means commerce and this means this, because it'd be like saying me going up to my fellow native who's of my same color, what's going on, my black? You don't have to, refer, like in Brazil. In Brazil, they don't call it a Brazil nut because you're already in Brazil, so it's just a nut. So if you're doing and using their things, they're assuming that you already know that these things are commercial in relation. However, the low-level functionaries within that jurisdiction, a lot of them don't know. They get into it and they just kind of it kind of leaves their mind, because even these judges, I had them say, well, nobody uses common law or constitutional law. That's so old and archaic, yet it's built, everything that you're doing is built on it. It is the foundation. Matter of fact, you couldn't, if they changed it right now in the Constitution, there wouldn't be any maritime admiralty jurisdiction. There wouldn't. And they might say, oh, there's no such thing as private this or private law or private citizen. Lies. I've had cops literally in my house ask me when they read my signs, oh, so you're private? Are you a private embassy or something? And I was like, well, yeah, I'm a micronation. Yes, this is not U.S. property. And they're like, oh, okay. I still allowed them to come in, talk to her, and then they left. All right. So another question that people ask me is, am I available tomorrow for a consultation or whatever else? No, I'm almost never available tomorrow under any circumstance. I mean, it would take a lot of money, and I'm not sure you guys would want to drop that kind of money if I'm going to be available tomorrow for your question. Now, this is not a disrespect thing or anything like that. It's just I'm usually booked as a minimum a week out. And if I take a week off, then it goes to 2 or 3 weeks. Okay. And I'm just now back to about a week out, and I'm going as fast as I can through everything. But if you go to Black Site 32, it's going to tell you that you can email me questions after you pay for the email consultations, and I will answer those three. I do VIPs, which are more expensive. And that's just what it is. But for the regular price, I will get you in there between a week to 2 weeks. So please plan accordingly. But yeah, I'm almost never available tomorrow or the next day. So plan that when you contact me, it might be that time. And to let you guys know, since we've done the court cases, I haven't had anybody who's done the court cases where they have not been successfully, we'll just say, judged and found guilty. Okay, but that also means that I only take on certain cases as I see fit. I will refund your money if you're on some BS or I don't think you're telling me the truth. If you've hurt a kid or somebody else in any kind of malicious way, depriving them of their rights, criminal stuff, don't do any of that stuff. Okay. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not trained in any of that. I am a private consultant, or you can use the term attorney in fact. Okay. Attorney means to turn over, and facts as well, facts. And I have been considered a friend of the court, meaning somebody who comes in there and does things. But no, I'm not going to fly out to represent you or whatever else, because it takes time away from me and doing other people, and I'd have to charge you a lot of money to do that, which would basically end up being the same amount as that your lawyer would charge you, and well, we'll leave that alone. Okay, the stars on the passport book and cards. Yes, they are still there. On the book, you have to get a black light off of Amazon, $8 to be able to see them. On the card, they're still in the center, top, and left. When you do the passport the way we talk about, yes, you are on the do not detain list, and you are looked at as a non-citizen U.S. national or a national of the United States. For those people out there, including the postal people out there who don't believe there's anything to this, then I formally challenge thee. Google search FAM, Foreign Affairs Manual, section 505.2, passport endorsements. Scroll down to the 09 code and read how the government, in red writing, which is not standard for what? The public Admiralty state jurisdiction, in red, which represents the red rooty soil in which a living man stands, where we have standing, and the red blood of a native, written in red. Specific reason why they put it in red. Though I do see Department of State that you guys have, what you did with the whole purple wording for the word there in there. So I know you guys watch my videos too. And thank you guys for keeping people safe. And yeah, if you guys need, any corrections with some of your stuff or updating, let me know. I'm glad to help you guys for the standard fee, of course. In that section, which is now out there for video proof, I've done in countless videos, it states that a non-citizen national is the same thing as a national, as a U.S. national. And before they edited it out years ago, I still have that on the record. It used to also directly mention the word state citizen. So a state citizen, for legal reasons and all lawfulness, a state citizen under, which is the same thing as a national under GPO Styles Manual section 5.23, per Foreign Affairs Manual section 505.2, a U.S. citizen, or excuse me, a U.S. national is the same thing as a state citizen. It's the same thing as a national. It's the same thing as a non-citizen national, as a non-citizen U.S. national. Those are all the same things. They just changed the terminology over the years. And though they like to think of themselves as slick and saying that, oh, a non-citizen national only means these certain islands, it says it's all of the territories, all of the areas that the United States of America and the United States operate, which even means the District of Columbia. There are nationals of DC. So though they shortened up the whole long list, which they have the right to do, to abbreviate, if you go back to the old days where they have the full lists or the GPO Styles Manual, section 5.23, it tells you right then and there. It's a recognized status. So they can shorten up all the places that make the organic, the republic of each state. So like Florida would be Florida State or Floridians. That is a territory of the United States of America, the physical ground. They primarily and heavily focus on the corporate side, which is the state of Florida. But in those definitions of national, it's in the government's printing manual. So I don't understand people at the Department of Passports and the agencies and the agents there. Do you guys not read your own materials? Or you guys just listen to the buffoon over you that tells you there's no such thing there, when clearly you have the competence, correct, to look up GPO Styles Manual section 5.23. It's recognized in that book. Even as of today, there's been no executive order to remove that. So it's there, it just has a new name because names of certain things change over the years. But it's still the same thing. And that all of that now would be on your side 100%. If it wasn't for Foreign Affairs Manual, passport endorsements, section 505.2, and the 09 code, which is a passport endorsement for the passport. How many other passports do the Department of State have where they're talking about these private nationals who live here? This is their code. But then you guys are telling people that's fraud or deception. And whoever's a part of it, whether in the government or not, or individually because of your emotion, you're wrong. And that's fraud and deception upon the American people. That's treason. And the legal department, if you are party to it, then you are party to a federal lawsuit. You're part of the deception. Or is it you just want people to be smart enough to understand something that takes somebody with an IQ of almost 160 to understand, so that only somebody of my level could use it? Well, it sounds like indirect deception. Something. I'm just saying. It should be, even in the UCC book says, things should be written so that a person of average intelligence, which is between 80 to 100, can understand the full meaning of this. And if not, there needs to be a description box somewhere where they can read and learn further information, but there isn't. That is fraud. That is deception. That is treason to the American people. Oh, but wait, that's common practice on the state side, but on the federal side, because those are two different jurisdictions, I can see the states doing that because they're just providing their membership. But as far as the government, you guys need to get your stuff together, because when the American people wake up and realize that that could be considered deception, they're going to have something to say. Now, to get back to it, as far as the stars, per the lady at the Department of State that I talked to, those are considered to be a security thing. So she didn't tell me what they meant because obviously she didn't even have that ability. So that leads me to say to all those people who say there's nothing there, well, you're wrong. If I had to use educational deduction, I would say that what could be considered so private and a security potential threat of this information, but it's on everybody's passport that gets it. Well, the only things I can think of is it has to pertain to your status or your standing, who you really are. So I tell people now, don't get hung up on the stars. We will, and nobody will ever know 100% of what they actually mean. And we don't have to. We know how to fill it out the proper way. And then they do their part. That's all there is to it. We do know that people who have lengthfully explained themselves and proven to be a lawful national have gotten 4 or 5. So then by theory, we could say that that would make them more like a diplomatic person. 3 would probably mean that you're like in the middle of both worlds, because they do also have to recognize, and it's on the DS-11, is I, under penalty of perjury, declare that I'm either a U.S. citizen or a non-citizen national. Okay, well, non-citizen means you're not a citizen. That cancels them, which leaves national. And then per GPO Styles Manual, section 5.23, per 8 U.S.C. 1401A, per 8 U.S.C. 110122B, per Foreign Affairs Manual, section 505.2, the national status all comes together with those documents. Out of here, man. Come on. The next one. Oh, when people ask or talk about, well, do you know this guy's process? Can you help me through his process? His process didn't work. None of us, including the gurus out there, and all these other shamans and shysters, and I got to hide my face and look all mysterious, and I have to, you know, even those people, we don't know other people's processes. Now, if you follow some shaman out there and he gets you jammed up or whatever else, that's on you. Trust me, as much as I know these people watch my stuff, my people watch my stuff, they also know that everything here is education and entertainment. And I assume no responsibility for how you use my information, but I, unlike most people, will tell you, double check my work. I show you right where to get it. I also don't do a whole lot of anything on the financial side. Why? Because if they're going to bang you, it's going to be because you're using their information, their routing numbers, their logos, and whatever else, and they are copyright written and protected, and you're using their stuff, or you're using a form inappropriately, because all you have to do is call them and say, hey, IRS, can I use this form for this purpose? They're going to say, no, that's what I did. So all those people got in trouble with the 1099As, or they're like, oh, they didn't work, or ask the people who are in jail right now for it, or prison. And I've had people contact me, hey, can you help my friend? They did the 1099A process and they were locked up now. I said, I can't. I can only give you some educational things that I would say to try, but just because someone's on this screen doesn't mean they're smart, doesn't mean they're mentally stable. They could have illusions of grandeur or truly be a sovereign citizen, to which any of my people, including me especially, are against. We are against people trying to take over the government. Why are you trying to take over the government, or trying to be, the government doesn't even bother you on a normal daily day basis. It is the state of whoever. them and their people and their boards are the ones making a lot of money on you guys. You guys don't even know their names. You're dealing with their low-level functionaries. You know that most police stations are private. Try to do a FOIA request on them because they only govern. And to my police officers out there as well, because I know you guys watch this. Some of you guys are really awesome. Thank you for a lot of the information you guys have given me. Um, the states are granted the ability to do business, but they have to be and still are subservient to the federal government, which is subservient to the Constitution, which is subservient to the American people. But the American private person or the national, the public person, when you refer to yourself as a U.S. citizen and you prove yourself to be a resident or a resident, you recited and entered, you recited from the Constitution, entered into the state's corporate jurisdiction as a resident and a resident, which is a private jurisdiction, but it's so big it's called the public. Police officers can only provide jurisdiction, control, and administration over the U.S. person or anybody in the public if they're committing a crime. But the American person and the U.S. citizen, the national and the U.S. citizen, two separate things, but all contained in one person on how you present yourself. If you commit a crime, no matter which one of those you are, they can take you down. But we, all of us, can also, if accurate, police the police, because they themselves are not above the law. They are corporate, legal, maritime jurisdiction for their community. Actual law, lawful, is the Constitution. Even they can't break the Constitution. So to answer the question, we don't know about other people's. We may know a little bit, but don't contact me asking about somebody else's stuff. I don't have the time to go through everybody's thing and figure out what they do. I'm just showing you guys some of the stuff that I've done in my life and how you guys can be successful if you want to do these things too, which are all optional. You do not have to do everything on my YouTube channel to be free. Once you know what's going on, you merely use the public for the public and the private for the private. And that's it. You want to be more private, you then create new private things with new private names, private USA jurisdiction, okay? And you operate them. And also, for tax purposes, per the IRS website, a U.S. national, so they do recognize it. I already made the video on it, so you guys can't take it down now and say it doesn't exist. I already made the video. For tax purposes, is considered equivalent to a non-resident alien. All right. So how do I have to change my name before I do these processes? No, you don't have to change your name at all. Matter of fact, typically when you change your name, you're gonna go to the court and then what? Oh, I've got a new name. Now that may help you out, educationally speaking only. For some particular legal matters or contractual things, possibly. However, you're still asking another man in the courts on the state level for permission to do something that you have the ability to do on your own. However, if you want to play with public things, you still have to utilize that public name, and that public name is a resident. It was brought over from the private into the public. So your name now has been tainted. The states know this. The legal department there knows this. The legal department of the federal government knows this. Most of the people operate the government, though, that you're going to even be able to reach, don't know this because they operate that none of how you spell your name matters whatsoever because they're operating under the Constitution. The states are operating under the U.C.C., and that's considered the topography or what your name looks like as in conspicuous format under UCC 1-201. I think it's number 10 or something like that. All right. So there's a difference of jurisdiction. You have to know it in order to do these things. Other people have asked me, oh, Wolf, I've done these things, or I sent this in, I did my SS5, I did, which we created a long time ago. Is it really changed? I got the passport. I can't really tell. Is it really changed? Look, when you know what's going on, you don't have to worry about any of those things actually being changed because you now know how you can operate. However, if they have not denied you and they've accepted it, they're not going to throw you parades with unicorns and purple kittens and Bigfoots and balloons. I don't know. They're not gonna. They don't. No. If you know what's going on and the system is such that they allow you to declare yourself, you know, you are, or you can create or use or get an affidavit of repudiation. You can create and draft a document of renouncing your U.S. citizen side as a living person, which you never pledged that you were anywhere. You never signed an agreement or contract anywhere. The states allowed you per 8 U.S.C. 110122 A and B to choose which one of those things that you are represented as. Choice has always been you. Now, I'm probably going to sit down and write a type of repudiation / affidavit of being a non-resident, and I'll make the price on that one relatively cheap. But I'm going to throw everything that I have on that. You guys can go on the website and find it on there and buy it if you choose. I always tell you guys how to do it free, how to do it for yourself, but you can also utilize mine. And I thank you for those people who do utilize my files and services when you could have gone elsewhere or made them yourself. I do appreciate that because it does help to support me to continue to do this because of you guys and your outcry of, hey, we want you to keep doing this. Well, that's not free. I mean, nobody pays for these lights but me. But because of you guys, it helps me to then do this. And despite what a lot of people on YouTube might be saying or whatever else, you don't make a ton of money on YouTube, especially after they have reduced that. And then they like to shadow ban some of my videos and information. And you know what? Hell, it might have been just me. They lowered. I didn't even think of that. It might have been just me and my stuff. I didn't. Man, that's interesting. I don't know. I'll have to talk to some other YouTubers and see if they've reduced how much they pay out. But anyway, nonetheless, so I appreciate that still yet. So thank you, YouTube, for what you guys are doing, even though I'm making you guys way more money than you guys are paying me, because that's how it works. But with all of those things, the combined conjunction of all of it, it helps me to do this. And I do enjoy this. This is a passion of mine. So thank you guys for that. So that is the majority of all the questions people have been asking me lately. Hopefully that answers your questions. So I will talk to you guys later. So anytime you guys want to see, maybe before asking the Bad Wolf this email question, maybe it's already been asked. It's already been questioned. The question has already been questioned. So let me watch a video on questions. So, all right. And I don't even know what part of questions I'm on, but this is Bad Wolf video questioning part, whatever I'm going to label it as. All right, guys, take care. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the rest of the summer. We are halfway through. I'm not ready for the COLD. Oh, man. But it is what it is. Life goes on. Take those lemons and turn it into lemonade. Add a splash of vodka. Shake it up. Shaken, not stirred. And I'll talk to you guys later. All right. Have a good one.